The last time these sides met in the championship was back in 2008 when Laois won by 2 points. Tommaso Flaherty, in his first season as Laois manager, hoping to end a disappointing run that saw his side lose in the first round in the last 2 seasons against a Wicklow side beaten in the qualifiers last year by Armagh. And it was the visitors who were on the scoreboard in the opening minute through Kevin Meaney, the midfielder, putting over the first point from distance. Ross Munnelly free extended Laois's advantage before Wicklow scored 4 unanswered points. One of those coming from their captain Leighton Glynn, back in the championship after a 2-year injury layoff. Back came Laois with 4 unanswered scores of their own. Ross Munnelly chipped in with a couple. There was one for Donald Kingston, and this one from Darren Strong made it 6 points to 4 for Laois. Laois led by 3 points entering the closing stages of the first half before the Garden County levelled, thanks to the only goal of the opening half, as corner forward Paul Cunningham flashed the ball past the Laois goalkeeper to make it 8 points to 1-5 at half time. There was a long delay to the start of the second half as an ambulance was called onto the pitch at Ockram to tend to a medical emergency in the stand. Referee Rory Hickey left with no option but to take the players back to the dressing rooms. The sides then swapped 2 points apiece early in the second half to keep the scores level, but the deadlock was broken by this point from substitute Conor McGraynor. But Laois then took complete control, scoring 6 unanswered scores to take the game by the scruff of the neck. 2 from Munnelly and 3 in a row from Donald Kingston, the pick of which was this one from distance, and Laois now led by 4. Wicklow did manage to reduce the gap back to 3, but Laois were not to be denied, and Munnelly knocked over the final point of the game, his 9th in total, to confirm a 7-point win for Laois. Laois then into the Leinster quarter-final and a meeting with Dublin on June the 8th. Final score, Laois 21 points, Wicklow 111.
I suppose the first half, we had a lot of attempts in the first half. We got a few scores, but we had a number of wides as well. But it was level going in at half time, and in fairness, in the second half, the lads stayed composed, and we put up a good few scores in the second half. So that's very pleasing.
Disappointing from our point of view, but looking forward, you have to try and take positives out of it. Like we had 6 lads making the first championship match there today, so. Yeah, we've got if it's blown up after 50 minutes, we've been well in it. Like
the Colin Begley situation, he didn't play today. He was named in the panel during the week. What was the reason for his exclusion?
Yeah, well, then myself and Colin, we had a discussion about it, and Colin, as you know, he plays with club football with the club in Dublin, Parnells, but he's also a coach with that team, and he found himself in a very awkward situation, and. And that's it. He's still a very valid or a very valued and vital part of our panel, and he's going to be in here with us on Tuesday night preparing for our next round.
So he will be in the squad for the Dublin match?
Oh, he is no doubt about it. We're heading for Croke Park now, and yes, he'll be in fully with us from Tuesday night.
That generated a lot of debate, the fact that Colin Begley wasn't picked for the county because he played with his club in the Dublin Championship during the week. What did you make of that, Kieran?
It's a difficult one, Des. He's based in Parnells. That's where his job is as well. And the first round of the championship was on in Dublin this week. Parnells didn't have an easy game. They were beaten, in fact. So he had a difficult choice to make. I think Tommaso Flaherty should have taken that into consideration. It all probably works out okay. The fact they won. Yeah. If they had lost, maybe there'd be a lot of different opinions on it. I know he's certainly one of the most committed players in Parnells, and he plays with them whenever he can. And to penalise a guy for playing with his club, 5 days before a championship match is tough. I think it's tough. It wasn't that he was, breaking county rules or stuff like that. All he wanted to do was play football.
Any your view on it, Colin?
It's a little bit harsh, I suppose, yeah, but I suppose Tommaso Flaherty is trying to rally his troops and get everyone ready for championship and have them in the best shape. So he's to run his ship as well. Very unfortunate for Colin, though. He's one of the shining players for Laois, and we all as supporters and fans want to see him play, and I'm glad that Tomás came out and said that he's still part of their plans, and that's encouraging.
Getting out of Ockram is never easy for anyone in the championship, Kevin.
The traffic.
That's
It's not, and they made a game of it for long enough. I was at the game last year where Meath, I tell you, got all a fill of it. It was a good battle, but Laois were the classier team. Kingston, in particular, I thought really drove it on. Ross Munnelly had a terrific game as well. So they're in decent shape going into the next round. But like Dublin sits in front of all of them, and that's the bit that knocks the fun out of winning these early rounds. You're going to meet them at some stage.
Kieran,